Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about something really exciting and really fun, and that's virtual reality, the HTC VIVE. So this is going to be my personal review and my own opinion on the HTC VIVE, and maybe down the road I will do a comparison between this and the PlayStation VR that just came out. Alright, so let's dive into the VR world and let's talk about virtual reality. So putting this thing on, it does feel like it's a little heavy and it presses against your face. And I've managed to get about a good hour and a half before I couldn't stand it anymore. I had to take it off. For me, for the most part, an hour and a half gaming on virtual reality is enough for me. And then going to the controllers, in my opinion, are just perfect. It's the way that they fit in your hand. And when you're emerging into the virtual reality world, it just feels natural when you try to reach out to grab things, or you're shooting a gun, or you're using your hands to just feel out the environment. From where the placements of the buttons are at and the functionality within the games, the controllers are have been really thought out in the engineering to give the best experience when you're in the virtual reality world. I gotta tell you, if you have not even put a headset on to even know what I'm talking about, this is so hard to translate that feeling of being immersed in virtual reality. You have to experience this, especially if you're a gamer and you come from like back end of like really first seeing like Nintendo's old school virtual reality. Trust me, it's nothing like that. I mean, you feel like you're in a different world. And you're gonna have to hook up some headphones to this. People don't realize this, but the sound has a lot to do with the effect of what's happening. Because you can be in the virtual reality world, and if you don't have, like, say that you use the outside audio as your audio source, it's not the same as if you have a good, pair of headset and you're listening to what's going on in the world. It just feels like you're really in it. It takes that experience to that next level. I played a chair in the room, and having those headsets on, holy shit, it just feels, I found myself screaming so many times. So let's jump into the games. The Lab. Holy cow, this thing is free. If you're looking for a game to play with the HTC VIVE, get the Lab. So the Lab, there's a whole bunch of mini games in here, and each of these mini games give you a different experience. Valve has done an amazing job delivering this experience with the HTC VIVE. So definitely download that one. That's probably one of the ones that are top of my list. Space Pirate. Holy cow. So you got two guns, you have all these ships coming at you, shooting at you, and you have to like do the matrix to like try to dodge these bullets. The music that they play when you're playing this game, it just feels like you're doing like the robot. I cannot transfer the experience that you get when you are immersed into VR. Anyways, download it, play it, love it. All right, and then number 3, raw data. So raw data takes you into the world of a first-person shooter. So you can choose to be a person with a gun or a person with a sword. And this, I mean, it can go from one robot to literally 100. Well, it feels like 100. If you're looking for a game that you are using the entire environment, that's the game to buy. And that's my game number 3. And I might as well make this a top 5. So number 4 is a chair in the room. Now this is an experience if you like to be a little creeped out. A chair in the room takes you into a person's mind who lost his memory. And, he's in the psych ward, but he's not sure exactly why. You're trying to get your memory back. Yeah, the messages that are to you, but you don't know who they're from yet because you can't remember. For a virtual reality game that can take you into a world where you're literally going through and experiencing it and trying to unfold what happened, this is definitely one of my top 5s. Go get it, buy it, download it, and enjoy it. And then the last game I would recommend is Onward. It's a first-person shooter again. So it's a team deathmatch experience, online virtual reality. Now, it can get you a little motion sickness if you're not used to these kind of gameplays on the VR. All right, so the last thing I would actually comment about the Vive is it's a lot of wires, but I mean, they are dependent on sensors that you have to position in the room. And when you do position the sensors across from one another in the room, you have the option of room scaling. Now you can have the room scaled. It has to be a certain size, and if it isn't and you don't have that much room to play with, then they do have stand-only scaling. I've tried both and they both work effectively. There are a few games where you have to have room scaling, you have to move around in the environment, and of course you definitely want the Vive and the virtual reality experience to go that route, because the more room you have, the more it just feels like you are in that world. However, there are other games that benefit from room standing only, like for instance, my number 2 pick, Space Pirates. There's not a lot of movement at all with that game. I can stand in one spot and get the most of that experience. However, there's other games, like say for instance, Chair in the Room. Now that game really benefits with room scaling. The more room you have, the more you can experience and walk around in a room and make you feel like you're in that room, instead of using the controller to move around the environment itself. And then my last little thing for you is that you need a very, very good graphics card. Just make sure that you look at the list on the NVIDIA site or the Steam site, so that way you know for sure that your graphic card is compatible, because if it's not, then that's another price you need to look into when buying a Vive. So there you have it, the HTC VIVE. If you have a PC and you have a graphic card that can support it, just buy the damn thing. It's a gameplay that you have to experience yourself to really understand the virtual reality world and the hype around it. I am 100% sold and behind this virtual reality, because it's just something that as a kid I wanted, and now that they have it, it's the best thing I've ever experienced in gameplay. So anyways, if you have a Vive, leave your comments below and let me know your experience and what your thoughts are. And of course, comment below on your top 5 games that you would recommend for the HTC VIVE. Alright guys, see you in the next video.